If you're anything like me, as a teacher, I'm always looking for tools that are simple to use and best of all free. And ReadTheory provides both of those things. It is a very simple application that helps your students with reading comprehension, and it's free. Simply go to readtheory.org, create your account, and you're ready to go. You can create classes simply by clicking on Create a New Class and creating as many classes as you want. For this purpose, I've created one class, and then you can go and add your students. You can add your students two different ways. For younger students, you might want to go ahead and just create accounts for them, providing their names, their username, and their password. You can set a default password that's the same for everybody to make it a little bit simpler. You can enter an email, but that is not required. The other option for students who are a little bit older, they can go straight to the readtheory.org page, create their own accounts. Once they're there, click on My Teachers, enter your email address. It'll send an invitation to your account, you accept it, and they are automatically a part of your class. So either one of those ways works. Once you've created your students, you want to go ahead and assign them to a class. So here's a sample student I created, and I can just add him to my class. You can also decide whether or not to allow your students to see their grade/Lexile level information as they're working, and whether or not they see the class points. There's benefits and drawbacks to both of those, so you need to decide it based on your students what will be more beneficial. The other thing that you can do is print off a great little student account handout that allows you to keep track of their usernames and passwords and hand them out to the students, or even a great little parent flyer so the parents are aware of what the program is and what the students should be doing. Once that is done, you're done. You don't have to do anything else until it comes time to track their progress. Once the students are working, you can go to progress reports. You can see how many quizzes as a class have been completed, how many knowledge points they've earned, what the pretest averages, program averages, and it shows you graphs for all those things. You can look at individual students and see how they're progressing. You kind of see it downwards and then upwards, and their Lexile level. So this does coordinate with Lexile levels. You can print the reports, which is great for a student conference with the parents of the student to provide some actual data to show them. And that's it. You can change the dates. Now, there is no assigning passages, there's no assigning levels, and you can't really even see the passages from within your dashboard. You can print one assessment for each grade level if you want to see an example of what the assessments look like. If you wanted more assessments, you can browse their full library, but you do have to pay for those. They have workbooks and other assessments that can be printed. And the last thing is written responses. You can decide whether or not the students will complete written responses, so you can turn that on or off. If they do write written responses, you do have to obviously score those on your own. There's a rubric that you can use to score their responses, and pretty simply add comments if you'd like and score and return to the student, and you're done. Now, if you do want to see the student side of it, the best thing to do is create some dummy accounts and sign in as a student. So if I log out and log in again, instead of logging in with my Google account, I'm going to log in with one of the sample accounts I created. All students will start with a pretest. It's 8 questions, takes up to 20 minutes, and they should do it on their own. When they're ready, they get the first question. They can change the font size. You notice it does give the level because I left that selection in place as far as the student be able to see the grade level and the Lexile. If I want to have the word highlighted that it's asking me about, I can click on Highlight Text. I answer the question, and it just prompts me through. So I'm just going to really quickly answer these questions so you can see what happens when it's all said and done. The passages will get easier and harder as the students go on. So again, they can see if their lexile is going up or if their lexile is going down as they're taking the test. And once they're done, it'll finish and score. Their pretest is complete, and they'll start their program. So again, this is where it's starting them, because I have that selected. The student knows exactly where they're starting. And they begin their assessment. The one thing I like about it is that if they, not their assessment, their program. If they do miss a question, it explains to them why they missed the question, which is very helpful. And they can try again on the next question. Once they have finished this set of questions, it'll go on to the next passage. The passage may be easier than this passage or harder than this passage, depending on how they do on the passage. If they get a question right, they will earn knowledge points, which can be motivating to the kids. And then again, when you log back into your account, you can see how they've done. Like I said, it really doesn't get any simpler than that. This is all free, so if you want that tool that's good for a center, good to assign while the students are home, this is just a great little tool to use.